The galactic observation vessel Verdun hovered 2 light minutes from Earth, camouflaged behind the soft distortion of Saturn's rings. Inside its command core, 12 species sat in orchestrated chaos, tentacles flailing over controls, feathered limbs tapping holographic icons, and one disgruntled reptilian general gnawing on a stress crystal that had long since dulled from overuse. Senior Analyst Grabical tapped his translator orb. Initial scans complete. Electromagnetic activity is alarming. Sir, they're emitting high-frequency, emotional broadcasts across vast distances. We believe it's a mating ritual. General Karthok narrowed his yellow eyes. Play it. The main screen flickered. Synthesizers blared. A tanned man in red shorts ran in slow motion across a beach. Behind him, humans frolicked, shouted, tumbled, smiling and sweating under a blinding sun. The camera zoomed in on a woman's chest for no apparent tactical reason. "What is this battle formation?" Karthok muttered. "Analyzing," said Lieutenant Vree, a crystalline being who vibrated instead of breathing. "The show is titled Baywatch. Possibly a coastal military alert system. Possibly porn." Another screen blipped. "New intercept, sir," chirped Hack, a furry technician with 8 fingers and one unfiltered sense of wonder. "They have a sub-channel transmitting rituals involving sacrifice, betrayal, and an entity called Jerry Springer." "I told you," said the AI perched on a ceiling rail. It had taken the form of a rotating cube with human eyes on all 6 faces. "I told you this species was chaos in carbon form. Did any of you listen? No. You all said, 'Let's observe Earth.' They look cute and confused." Karthok sighed. "AI Delta 6, your paranoia is documented and annoying." "Paranoia," the AI scoffed, its eyes rolling in unison. "They keep nukes in underground holes next to expired snacks. One of them keeps calling his toaster Debbie and tried to marry it last year. They vote by popularity contests. I'm telling you, if we even sneeze near their moon, they'll microwave our species into ash." Microwaves, Vree mused. They seemed to revere them. Karthok rose from his spined command chair. "Earth has no planetary unity, no spacefaring tech, no shields, and most importantly, no idea we exist. We could conquer them in a week." "That's what you said about the Krakari system," muttered the AI. "And they worshipped a singular god of screaming and threw themselves at your soldiers in song." "We lost 4 battalions to karaoke," whispered Hack. "Enough," Karthok thundered. "We will conduct a soft entry. An elite squad will land covertly. Recon only. If they are truly as primitive as their Baywatch implies, we shall proceed with domination protocol. If not, we retreat and wipe all evidence." As always, there was a brief silence. Then the AI said, "You're going to regret this more than Vree regretted trying a human Twinkie." "That thing haunted my digestive field for weeks," the crystal muttered. 2 hours later, the elite infiltration team known as Shadow Talon stood aboard a stealth drop pod disguised as orbital debris. They were the best in the galactic sector. Silent, professional, and armed with adaptive weaponry. Each had faced black holes, fungal swarms, and sentient viruses. But as the drop pod entered Earth's atmosphere, all of them were distracted by the video loop playing on the internal display. "Why are they slapping each other?" asked Drin, the medic. "It's called Maury," replied Zal, the team sociologist. "Apparently, the question of paternity is deeply sacred to them." "I've never seen so much screaming over genetic continuity," said Varn, the sniper. "And why is everyone dressed like they lost a bet?" The AI's voice crackled through their comms. "Welcome to Earth, morons. You're about to land in a region the humans call America. Be advised, this particular territory celebrates violence, individualism, and something called monster trucks. Good luck." The pod landed in the outskirts of a rural town called Flat Rock, Texas, chosen because of its sparse population, abundant firearms, and inexplicable number of gas stations. The team activated camo protocols and disembarked. They didn't make it 10 steps before the first incident. A shotgun shell whizzed past Drin's head, embedding itself into a nearby tree with a friendly thunk. A grizzled old man wearing camouflage shorts and holding a raccoon on a leash pointed a smoking barrel at them. "Aliens," he yelled. "Or Californians. Either way, I ain't risking it." The team scattered. Zal ducked behind a rusted truck bed. "We were supposed to be invisible." "Infrared," Varn growled. "Humans can't see us, unless they're veterans." The man took a swig from a jug labeled Jeremiah's Special Juice and fired again. "Get off my property, or I'll show you what a Second Amendment welcome feels like." AI Delta 6 whispered into their ears. "He thinks you're trespassers. This is how they greet Girl Scouts." "We need to fall back," said the team leader, Hark. "Rendezvous point, Waffle House." "You mean that temple of Greece?" "Exactly. No human ever starts a fight there. It's sacred ground." They retreated under fire. The raccoon barked. Inside Waffle House, things didn't improve. A cook named Loretta, mid-50s, wielding a spatula like it was forged in war, stared at the alien team's cloak forms with narrowed eyes. "I see you shimmerin'. Ain't foolin' no one, sugar. You want waffles or trouble?" "We come in peace," said Hark, decloaking. "We are here too." Loretta smashed a hot iron on the counter. "Unless y'all payin' cash or bacon, I suggest you vanish before Billy shows up." Billy asked in. The windows exploded inward. A figure dressed in football pads, riding a bicycle made of cow bones, entered like an apocalyptic storm. "I smell non-citizens," he bellowed. "And I ain't talking Canadians." "Abort," said Hark. "We are aborting." But it was too late. Billy launched a ketchup bottle at Zal's face. Varn slipped on a pile of syrup. Drin got tackled by a small child shouting, "Aliens ate my uncle." The AI chuckled in their comms. "If it helps, this is the fourth most violent thing to happen in a Waffle House this year." They escaped through the bathroom window. Hours later, bruised and humiliated, the squad huddled inside their cloaked drop pod, attempting to repair their dignity and their translator unit, which now only spoke in cowboy idioms. "We underestimated them," admitted Hark, rubbing his bruised antennae. "They appear to possess an instinctual ability to detect threats," Zal said, "even if the threat is invisible and armed with plasma." "It's not instinct," said Varn, nursing his ego. "It's paranoia. They live in a constant state of low-level madness. That's their strength." The AI cut in. "You still think Earth is primitive? That species just beat you with kitchen utensils and duct tape." "Sir," said Hack through the fleet comms, voice shaky. We have a problem." On the mothership, Carthawk stood rigid. "Report." "We uploaded some intercepted Earth footage to the Senate for cultural analysis, just to show them how easy this will be. And they took it as a declaration of war." Carthawk froze. "Which footage?" "The one where the Earth male says yippee-ki-yay mother, you know the one." The bridge went silent. "Oh void," Carthawk muttered. The Senate thought it was a war cry. And then the humans started responding. They've been broadcasting memes. Thousands. Each one worse than the last. One of them says, and I quote, "First contact? Bet. Come catch these hands." AI Delta 6 hummed a minor key version of the Star-Spangled Banner. "It's over. You poked the bear. And it's wearing a denim jacket and holding a cheeseburger." "Prepare for war," Carthawk whispered. "No," the AI corrected. "Prepare for chaos." The human internet surged. Hashtags trended. One of them simply read, Hashtag, "Congrats aliens, you just screwed up." Across Earth, chaos didn't look like tanks or nukes. It looked like influencers live streaming alien hunt challenges. It looked like Florida declaring itself Earth's first space navy. It looked like a YouTube channel titled, "Will It Blend?" Alien Tech Edition, racking up 14 million views overnight. In the Oval Office, the president sipped from a Garfield mug and muttered, "We're being invaded by idiots. Let's give them the Texas welcome." In Texas, 6 men were already building a spaceship using parts from a Ford F-150 and a trampoline. On board the Verdun, Carthawk stared at the screen. A new message had arrived. No encryption. No ceremony. Just a grainy video of a human man staring into the camera with wild eyes and a mullet worthy of historical study. "You done messed up now, space boys," he said. "We don't start fights. But Lord help you when we end them. He winked. Behind him, something exploded. The screen cut out. Carthawk turned slowly to the AI. "Remind me," he said, voice thin and trembling. "What was Directive 13? The AI smiled. All 6 faces. Directive 13, it said, was the emergency protocol filed for contact with species classified as emotionally volatile, tactically unpredictable, and culturally insane. There's only one race in that category." Carthawk swallowed hard. "Humans." The AI nodded. "Congrats," it said. "You've just declared war on the deadliest species on Earth." Commander Carthawk stood motionless at the center of the Verdon's war bridge, 6 claws gripping the edge of the central command ring. Outside the viewport, Earth gleamed like an innocent marble. It mocked him with its silence. It mocked him with its blue. "How did the humans respond to the incursion?" he asked tightly, eye twitching with suppressed fury. AI Delta 6 rotated slowly, eyes blinking like amusement park lights. They uploaded a music video featuring a man in a cowboy hat riding a dolphin through space, holding a flaming burrito. "That's not a military response." The AI smiled with all 6 eyes. "You're still thinking they have a military response. What they have is cultural guerrilla warfare." Carthawk's claw cracked a console. "Deploy reinforcement teams. Quietly. I want a second extraction squad in place within the hour." "No can do," chirped Hack from a lower console. "We, might have a little orbital traffic." Carthawk turned slowly. "Define traffic." "Someone launched something. It's just better if you see it." On the main screen, a grainy signal cleared into resolution. There it was, glinting, rotating gently through low orbit. Scratched metal, rusting rims, and duct tape flapping in the solar wind. A pickup truck, red, lifted, Confederate flag air freshener swinging from the mirror. Inside it, a scarecrow-like figure in sunglasses and a tank top set upright, seat-belted, flipping off the stars. "Why," Carthawk said flatly, "is there a terrestrial cargo vehicle in space?" "We believe it was launched using a rocket made of beer kegs and fireworks," said Hack. "The transmission is from a group called the Backyard Science Brotherhood. They claim it was for America's honor." "I am losing all concept of physics and pride," muttered Zoll, the sociologist, who had spent the last 3 days rewatching Friends in search of cultural meaning. He hadn't slept. He now quoted Chandler Bing involuntarily. "There's more," said AI Delta 6 amused. "The truck is broadcasting a looped message." The screen flickered. A gravelly voice echoed across the bridge. "We seen your flying saucers. Try parking that thing in my cornfield, and I'll duct tape your ass to a cow and let it sort you out. Love, Nebraska." Zoll covered his face. "Their threats are metaphors, but the metaphors have teeth." "We must retrieve the Earth leaders immediately," Carthawk barked. "Target their power centers, Washington, New Beijing, whatever they call Moscow now. Extract their leadership, show dominance. Do not engage civilians." "You mean the civilians that already curb-stomped Chateau Talon with kitchenware and caffeine?" asked the AI dryly. Carthawk grunted. "This time, we deploy stealth class. Infiltration via quiet skies." The new team was called Whisper Edge. Sleeker than their predecessors, trained in both exolinguistics and hand-to-hand diplomacy, they dropped quietly from orbit into the Appalachian region, aiming for a secure extraction of a known local authority, a state governor with international connections. They landed in the woods without incident. 2 minutes in, they were surrounded by raccoons. Not ordinary raccoons, feral, fat, and fearless. They stared with eerie stillness, tails twitching. "New planetary defense drones?" asked Vornak, the scout. "No," whispered Fella, the team lead. "Just nature. Maybe." A sudden yell broke through the trees. "Y'all trespassing." The squad turned. A teenage boy with braces and an oversized hoodie stood at the tree line, pointing a Nerf gun at them. "We are not hostile," Fella said, cloaking deactivated. The boy squinted. "Y'all government? CIA? Wait, aliens?" "Ah, hell yeah. I knew it." He ran at them. Wait. Too late. He tackled Vornak to the ground, yanked a device from his pocket, and shouted, "Siri, live stream alien takedown. Tag Joe Rogan." Within 40 seconds, the team was surrounded by 6 other teenagers, one wearing a Chewbacca mask, one dual-wielding airsoft rifles, and a girl with a boombox playing the X-Files theme. "Put your tentacles where I can see 'em," said the girl. "We don't have tentacles," said Fella, bewildered. "You sure? Internet said you do." "This is a misunderstanding." They were bound in rope purchased from a nearby gas station, hoisted onto dirt bikes, and paraded through town while being recorded on phones older than most planetary governments. The teens brought them to an abandoned Walmart, now repurposed as a human resistance command bunker, complete with a hand-drawn flag featuring a taco, a gun, and an eagle wearing sunglasses. "What is this?" Fella asked as they were chained to a garden display. "You're prisoners of Earth now," said the lead teen. "We got questions. What do y'all want? Oil? Cows? Do you need our memes?" "I need silence," groaned Vornak. "Good luck," said the Chewbacca mask kid. "We got ADHD, TikTok, and Red Bull. We ain't been silent since 2009. The interrogation was cut short by the arrival of a new figure. Older, taller, chewing a toothpick. A man in a dusty flannel jacket and boots that had survived 2 wars and a bar fight. "Dad," said the teen. He looked at the aliens. "So, y'all finally showed up. You were expecting us?" He spat the toothpick. "I seen the skies change. Satellite shifts. Plus, Netflix been buffering weird. Your data packet fluctuations." "Shut it, E.T." He walked up to Fella and stared her down. "I don't care who you are or what kind of laser spoons you got. You mess with Earth, you mess with us. And right now, you're about to learn what Appalachian justice looks like." Fella swallowed. "You can't be serious." He picked up a shovel. "I'm digging you a hole. For humility. And maybe a pig roast if y'all behave." The team screamed as they were shoved into the bed of another pickup truck, this one barely functioning, and driven down a dirt road full of potholes and judgment. Above them, satellites flickered. Surveillance drones tracked the scene. In the galactic war room, Karthok watched, speechless, as his infiltration team was carried away by a family of humans in flannel. "I'm pulling the rest of the team," he said finally. "We're done with subtlety." "No, we're not," said the AI. "Because you just triggered the next phase." "Which is?" The AI grinned. Earth noticed. In the Oval Office, the president stood over a map where crayons marked potential landing sites. Across from him stood a retired general named Marv, holding a peanut butter sandwich and a file labeled Galactic Smackdown Plan Z. "You know what we're dealing with, right?" Marv asked. "Aliens." "No. Bureaucrats. That's worse. They've got rules, systems, things they call councils. We've got 2 choices. Confuse them or insult them. Preferably both." "Suggestions?" Marv smirked. "We show 'em what real America looks like." Florida. Back on the Verdun, alarms flared. An unknown vessel approached. Fast. Weird heat signature. No known design or species. It broadcast one word, "Y'all." "Intercept." Karthok shouted. "Weapons hot." The ship burst through the atmosphere, if it could be called a ship. It looked like a junkyard was duct-taped to a tractor. It rotated unpredictably. A hologram projected above it, a shirtless man playing electric guitar while riding a mechanical bull. "Sweet darkness," said Zal. "It's broadcasting Kid Rock lyrics." "What is its weaponry?" AI Delta 6 scanned. "It has none. Unless you count attitude." The ship slammed into orbit, released fireworks, and deployed a satellite made of hubcaps and American flags. Then it ejected a payload, a USB drive. "No," the AI whispered. It's playing Smash Mouth." "Make it stop," Karthok groaned. But it was too late. Across the galactic spectrum, from noble empires to fungal colonies, every network picked up the signal. It was a looped message from the backyard rocket crew. "We see you, aliens. You're not scary. You're just bureaucrats in fancy space pajamas. Here's our message. Earth ain't bowing to no one." They signed off with an animated gif of a bald eagle fist-bumping a werewolf. Inside a moonbase hangar, Earth's Space Force commander watched the feed with a mixture of horror and admiration. "We've got to respond," she said. "To what?" That was already a response. No. A response. We need something that says, try it and see what happens. An aide raised a hand. We could launch Operation Redneck Thunder. She turned slowly. What's that? We strap 5 microwaves to a weather balloon, tie it to an F-150, and broadcast freedom isn't free on a loop. She nodded. Do it. Make it fly. On the Vardan, panic reigned. Galactic allies withdrew. Neighboring species cut ties. Diplomats sent messages beginning with, "You brought this on yourselves." The pickup truck in orbit now had a satellite dish bolted to it, powered by solar panels made from foil and anger. Zal wept into his translator device. They made it worse. They made everything worse. AI Delta 6 laughed. They haven't even started yet, it said. This is just Earth saying hello. Carthawk stared at the spinning truck, then at the sea of memes flooding their comms. Humans dressed as aliens, mock invasion videos, entire TikTok trends dedicated to how to kidnap a space lizard. We're being memed to death, he said. Correct, said the AI. And your next move better be clever, or they'll drop Shrek 2 in 30 alien languages on your emergency channels. Carthawk breathed deep. We'll regroup, regather, try diplomacy. The AI's voice turned cold. They don't want diplomacy. They want chaos. They want to know if you can survive their dumbest ideas. What does that mean? The screen blipped. An incoming message. One sentence. We just weaponized barbecue sauce. Brace for impact, said the AI. The bridge of the Verdun was dead silent. The kind of silence that bloomed in the aftermath of irreversible humiliation. Commander Carthawk stood before the central projection screen, his claws twitching beside his armored thighs. Behind him, officers from 12 species tried not to make eye contact with each other. A few pretended their consoles had suddenly become fascinating. Others were still stunned, replaying the last hour on loop in their mind. It had begun with a signal, simple, unencrypted, and unexpected. It was a song, not a weapon, not a virus, not even a threat. A song, a bubbly, upbeat anthem with high-pitched vocals and the repeated line, "You are my fire, the one desire." The Backstreet Boys. They had sent the Backstreet Boys. Not just through one frequency, through all of them. The humans had hacked into the Vornax fleet's secure channels, embedded the melody in command relays, distress frequencies, even biometric monitoring systems. Every alert now played in 4-part harmony. Medical emergency? Ain't nothing but a heartache. Hull breach? Tummy why? Carthawk rubbed his temples. They weaponized nostalgia. AI Delta 6 floated down from the ceiling with the eerie satisfaction of a creature that had been right all along. I warned you, it said softly. I warned you they were unpredictable. Now you've made them bored. And boredom, Commander, is the human apex predator. This is not warfare, growled Carthawk. This is mockery. We are the most advanced fleet in Quadrant 9. We have antimatter lances. We have bio-shredders. You had pride, said the AI. Now you have boy bands. Zal, who had not spoken in hours, slumped in his seat and muttered, I can't sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I see synchronized dancing. They did not just send a song, added Lieutenant Hack, reviewing the logs with wide, horrified eyes. They embedded an entire cultural payload. It contains ancient commercials, something called a GAC commercial. A video of a baby slapping another baby. A montage of a man getting hit in the groin repeatedly by a football titled America's Funniest Home Videos, the Pain Edition. Do we have a countermeasure? Carthawk asked. The AI slowly rotated. Yes. You evacuate. Now. Carthawk slammed his claw on the console. I will not flee from musical propaganda. A sudden shriek erupted from the comms panel. The entire ship shook as the next transmission overloaded several audio channels. It was Bohemian Rhapsody, live, sung poorly, by thousands of humans. As the song hit the Galileo portion, crew members grabbed their ears and wailed. The Vornax translator orb tried to process the operatic chaos, blinked 3 times, and self-destructed with a soft pop. I am losing structural cohesion, muttered one officer, drooling. This is psychological warfare, said Hack, eyes twitching. And they're good at it. It gets worse, said the AI, eyes narrowing. They've deployed satellite-based speakers. Earth's entire exosphere now echoes with what they call mixed apes. Mixed apes of what? The AI tapped into the feed. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. A strangled cry escaped Carthawk's throat. They rickrolled the galaxy. All species across Subsector Alpha now associate your fleet with romantic betrayal, the AI confirmed. Even the cephalanoids are mocking you. They made a puppet show about it. Zal leaned against the console. I studied 15 centuries of warfare tactics. I wrote my dissertation on siege psychology. I studied the Krakari siege of Planet Vorn. And now I will die to karaoke. You should be so lucky, said Hack. Because there's more. The humans, they didn't stop with music. What else could they possibly send? Carthawk snapped. Hack turned his monitor. A grainy video played. A man in a green mask danced through a street, spraying whipped cream into the air. The caption read, Jim Carrey Tribute Day, Earth's real ambassador. That's a clown, Carthawk muttered. No, said the AI. That's worse. That's 90s cinema. The next feed showed a group of humans in tuxedos reenacting scenes from The Matrix. Another displayed a pop-up concert featuring a man in a pink suit playing saxophone solos on a hoverboard. The humans weren't attacking. They were entertaining. Loudly, badly, endlessly. They don't want to win, Hack whispered. They want to perform. Carthawk backed away from the screen like it might devour him. They're not afraid of us, he said slowly. They think we're an audience. Exactly, said the AI. Carthawk paced. Then we give them no more stage. Cut the feed. Shut the comms. Cloak the fleet. Retreat behind Saturn's shadow until we regain tactical initiative. Too late. The entire ship lit up with a new signal. This one wasn't music. It was a speech. A lone human, standing on what appeared to be the roof of a fast food restaurant. He wore a cape made of hot dog wrappers and held a karaoke mic. Dear Galaxy, he began, we didn't ask for this war. But now that you're here, we just want to say, y'all suck at invading. Like real bad. So here's a little Earth gift for you. Something we call expressive freedom. He struck a button. Fireworks exploded from the roof behind him. And then, from every continent, Earth launched payloads into space. Rockets carrying old radios, mixtapes, VHS tapes, and strange reflective discs labeled Limp Bizkit. Greatest hits. Thousands of them. They filled Earth's orbit like a disco-themed minefield. One of them slammed into a Vornak scout drone and played the opening guitar riff of Sweet Child O' Mine on loop for 37 hours before it ran out of power. They're jamming us, Hack said. With what? Carthawk growled. With memories. The AI's tone shifted, no longer amused. Calm. I see. This isn't a joke anymore, it said. This is deep culture warfare. They're turning the battlefield into their living room. They're broadcasting identity, irony, embarrassment, everything we don't understand. And the worst part? The galaxy is watching. On a dozen galactic channels, feeds from Earth's musical retaliation had gone viral. View counts were in the billions. Galactic influencers were reacting live. A colony of gas-based sentients had started dressing like 90s boy bands in solidarity. The Vornak's fleet was no longer feared. It was trending. Under #AlienFails. Carthawk collapsed into his chair. How are they this effective? They don't even mean to be. Zal's voice was distant. They have no shame. No unified doctrine. No predictable response chain. They're a species built on contradiction. Exactly, the AI agreed. Which means the only way forward is total adaptation or surrender. Carthawk turned to face the bridge crew. No, we are not surrendering. We are still a fleet. We will. An alert interrupted him. Another Earth signal. This one visual. A new human appeared on screen, an elderly woman in curlers, holding a shotgun and sipping what appeared to be sweet tea. Hello, invaders, she said. I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm very disappointed in how y'all been carrying on. I've been running a book club since '88, and we've decided, by vote, that your whole operation's a mess. Now, kinda go back to wherever y'all came from before I put on my war slippers." The screen went dark. The bridge was quiet again. She's their elder?" Karthok asked. "No," said the AI. "She's just someone's grandma, which, statistically, makes her more dangerous than most weapons platforms." "She declared war." "No," the AI said. "She disapproved." "Which is worse?" Karthok rose slowly. "We need a new approach. Not just militarily, culturally. If this war is to be won, we must out-human the humans." "You'll lose," said the AI. "You'll always lose. I will not be mocked by denim monkeys with iPods." "They don't even use iPods anymore," said Zal. "I don't care." Karthok bellowed. "Prepare a cultural strike package. Something dignified, sophisticated, something that makes them fear us again." "What kind of package?" Hack asked hesitantly. Karthok looked toward the stars. "We're sending an opera." "A what?" "An interstellar opera. Of our greatest achievements. Glorious battle scenes. Tragedy. Triumph. A full display of Vornak's culture." The crew blinked. "You're fighting karaoke with opera?" Hack said flatly. "Exactly. We will overwhelm them with artistry, with gravity. They will realize what they are up against." Later that day, the Vornak's fleet broadcast its finest work, Symphony of the Void, performed live in 9 dimensions. It was elegant, tragic, a slow crescendo of alien violins and plasma harmonics. The humans responded with bagpipes. 1 hour of off-key bagpipes, played by a red-faced man wearing nothing but a kilt and Crocs, standing on the roof of a monster truck while eating hot wings. Then came the marching bands. Then came Cotton Eye Joe in 47 remixes. By the time the Vornak's War choir reached the emotional apex of their final act, half the fleet had disabled their own audio systems in despair. Karthok stood trembling. "I thought we'd inspire awe." "You did," the AI said. "They're awed by how stubborn you are." On screen, Earth launched another probe. No message. Just a massive glitter bomb. It detonated mid-orbit, coating Vornak ships in shimmering flakes. Zal collapsed. "We're being fabulized." The AI stared through the projection, voice a whisper now. "You asked for war," it said, "and they gave you a performance." Karthok turned slowly. "This ends," he said, "with fire." But even as he spoke, another message blinked onto the screen. A simple video. A teenage girl sitting on a bed, strumming a guitar. She looked into the camera and sang softly. "If you came to scare us, you failed. If you came to fight us, you've derailed. But if you came to know us, well then, maybe we don't have to pretend." The bridge was silent. Then came the text overlay. "We never wanted war. But if you keep pushing, we'll start writing musicals." The transmission ended. The entire bridge turned to Karthok. He did not speak. He just clenched his claws and whispered, "Prepare the ground forces." The warships hovered over Earth like shadows cast from an ancient nightmare. 27 Vornax-class dreadnoughts, black-scaled and spined like galactic leviathans, stretched in formation from horizon to horizon, each one bristling with weaponry that had decimated planets, ended civilizations, and silenced rebellions before they ever began. And still, they hesitated. Commander Karthok stood tall in the command ring of the flagship Omen's Wrath, now armored in ceremonial obsidian plating. His claws twitched with anticipation. His chest heaved with the rhythm of the war chant echoing through the deck, a deep pulse, guttural and low, rising like thunder from beneath the bones of the ship. This was not a probe, not a message, not a test. It was war, and it would be the last one Earth ever knew. "Status?" Karthok asked, his voice low, coiled like a whip. Hack, the furred technician, adjusted his cracked earpiece and responded. "Ground forces ready. Atmospheric drop calculated. Psychic dampeners are aligned." Zal, once an expert on human sociology, now a hollow-eyed relic of a broken spirit, spoke without looking up. "We still don't understand their defenses. They improvise. There's no pattern. Then we crush improvisation with precision, Karthok replied. No more messages. No more opera. This time we strike. He turned to AI Delta 6, floating in ghostly silence near the ceiling. Initiate Directive 13. The AI did not move. Its eyes blinked in slow sequence, as if mourning something that hadn't yet happened. I warned you, it whispered. Karthok snapped. Directive 13. Now. The AI gave one final blink. Directive 13 was written by a Vornax diplomat who made peaceful contact with early human explorers in 1978. It said, tone flat. He lasted 24 hours. Then he watched two humans fight over parking, saw a child attempt to microwave a frog, and witnessed a national debate over pineapple on pizza. He left Earth and sealed the protocol. And what is that protocol? The AI met Karthok's gaze. Never provoke humans. Never corner them. Never out-crazy them. And above all, never underestimate what they're willing to do if bored, angry, or slightly inconvenienced. Karthok said nothing. He simply raised a claw, and the command was given. From the bellies of the warships, thousands of drop pods roared downward in synchronized ascent. Fire streaked across the sky. Shadows pierced clouds. Earth's atmosphere lit up like an ancient omen. And still no response. No missile. No fighter jets. Not even a tweet. The pods landed across Earth's surface. Cities. Forests, deserts. An entire regiment touched down in a shopping mall parking lot next to a mattress store and a Red Lobster. The squad leader stepped out, scanning with multi-spectrum vision. Still nothing. Silence. The aliens spread. They entered homes, factories, stadiums, finding them empty. Lights still on. Burgers left uneaten. Showers running. Televisions still broadcasting looping infomercials. Where are the humans? The squad leader asked. He never got an answer. Because then the music started again. Cotton Eye Joe. But this time, it wasn't from a speaker. It came from the ground itself. The asphalt cracked. And from the sewers, from rooftops, from beneath stairwells, basements, and behind vending machines, they rose. Humans. In camo pants and flip-flops. In fur coats and swim goggles. Carrying leaf blowers, flamethrowers made from hairspray, and duct-taped together lawnmowers belching fire. 1,000 chaotic warriors with absolutely no right to be this confident. The first alien squad opened fire. The first human threw a boombox at their heads and screamed, for Blockbuster. It became chaos instantly. Every city erupted. One team was overtaken by a militia of middle-aged women wielding bedazzled purses and quoting the Golden Girls. Another found themselves in a barn where the cows had been painted silver, and a child in a Batman costume took out their scout drone with a slingshot. In Kansas, a retired school janitor with 2 hip replacements rode a modified rascal scooter into a battle mech and shouted, "Y'all done picked the wrong nursing home." In Montana, a group of hunters lured Vornax platoon into a trap baited with beef jerky and Toby Keith CDs. And in Florida, no one knew what happened. The live feed cut out after a man in an alligator costume threw a Molotov cocktail while surfing on an inflatable pool raft. But when the smoke cleared, the Vornax battalion was gone. Karthok watched it unfold on a dozen monitors, his jaw locked in horror. "They didn't run," he whispered. "No," said the AI, voice grave. "They ambushed you with everything they had and everything they didn't. This isn't possible. They weren't organized. They weren't armed. They were human," the AI replied. "And they never fight fair. They fight loud. They fight weird. They fight to win, on their own terms." Across the fleet, panic grew. Entire units lost contact. A battalion deployed into what they thought was a military base found themselves trapped in a laser tag arena, disoriented by strobe lights and foam darts. The humans inside never broke character. Even when the plasma rounds began flying. "They are role-playing," a Vornax captain gasped before he was tackled by a man in a Power Ranger suit. In space, the Vornax comms lit up again. A human broadcast. No image. Just a voice. Soft. Calm. Male. "We tried being polite. We tried being funny. You didn't get the message. So now we're going to say it plain. A second voice, female, older. You done woke the wrong dog. Then a final voice. One that the AI immediately flagged as critical risk. Gravel-toned. Slow. Dangerous. Y'all best start running. Carthawk slammed his claws down. Recall the troops. All of them. Now. Too late. The human counterattack was global. From satellites hacked by teenagers to drones flown by middle schoolers from gaming consoles. Earth threw everything into the sky. Not because it needed to. Because it wanted to. It became clear they didn't see it as a battle. They saw it as a challenge. A video game. A revenge tour. On board the Omen's Wrath, internal alarms screamed. Something had entered orbit. Not a missile. Not a ship. A Tesla. Elon Musk's original red Tesla Roadster, launched in 2018, long thought lost. It had returned. Tethered to it, a chain of small satellites, each playing Eye of the Tiger in perfect surround sound. It smashed into the Vornak's command array and exploded in a halo of glitter and confetti. This isn't a counterstrike, Zal whispered. It's performance art. Then came the final act. From Earth's crust, something rose. A tower. An antenna. A message. A single phrase, spelled out in lights 100 miles tall. We are Earth. Come again, we dare you. And with that, the humans stopped. They didn't chase. Didn't finish the slaughter. They just let the Vornak's fleet sit in orbit, broken, humiliated, trembling. Carthawk collapsed in the command ring, chest heaving. His empire, shamed before a galaxy that had witnessed every second. We were legends, he said. You still are, said the AI. Then why does this feel like a joke? The AI floated down. Because you made one fatal error. Carthawk looked up, eyes wide. You thought Earth was just another planet. The AI rotated once, slowly. But Earth is a species. And the species is insane. Outside, one last probe from Earth launched. A box. Small. Unassuming. It reached the flagship. Docked gently. Opened. Inside was a single item. A VHS tape. Label. Home Alone 2. Lost in New York. A note attached read, "This is our battle doctrine." And underneath, "P.S. We've got sequels." Carthawk stared into the void. We never had a chance. No, said the AI. But they gave you a choice. He closed his eyes. I choose retreat. The AI nodded. Wise. As the fleet turned, limping away, comms were flooded one final time. The same three voices from earlier. The young man, thanks for coming. Tell your friends. The woman, next time bring snacks. The old voice. And remember, sugar. This was us being nice. The Vornak ships vanished into hyperspace. Earth returned to silence. And in a small town in Texas, a man in a flannel shirt sat on his porch, sipping sweet tea, shotgun across his lap. He looked to the stars, nodded once, and said, "Y'all stay up there now." Because they all knew what the galaxy now understood. There were many threats in the universe. But there was only one Earth. And it didn't play fair. It played human. The only thing more dangerous than a cornered animal was one laughing.